Okay, this is problem 30, and it's a word problem. Alright, let's start. So I have it all written down here. You went to the store and purchased 2 items for $1.36 each and 3 items for $3.25 each. You gave the clerk a $20 bill. How much change did you receive back? Okay, so first you want to look at the information given and what you're given, what you purchased, and you're given how much money you gave the clerk. So what you purchased is 2 items at $1.36 each and 3 items at $3.25 each. So we'll put that there. That's what you purchased. And then how much money you gave the clerk was simply a $20 bill. Now, what you have to calculate is the total amount of money spent on the purchases. So we have to figure out how much money was actually spent when you bought 2 items at $1.36 and 3 items for $3.25. And then once we sort that out, we can figure out what your change will be from that $20 bill. So the total amount of money spent will be this first 2 items at $1.36 each. We have to calculate that first. So that will be 2 items. Oh, let's leave it in red. 2 times 2 items times $1.36. When we do this math, we'll get a number. And then we're going to have to do 3 items for $3.25 each. So then we'll do this math, 3 items times $3.25. And that total, let's make that black. That total will then be the total amount of money spent on the purchases. So it's like putting brackets on these multiplication and then adding them. So let's work out the math for that. Once again, we'll work over in this corner here. 101.36 or $1.36 times the 2 items. And that's this step here. So that's 6 times 2 is 12. Here you 1. 3 times 2 is 6. It's 7. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay? You have 2 decimal places because that's the decimal. So you have to have 2 decimal places in the answer. So this little answer here is 272. Then you're going to have another answer here, 3 times 325. So let's work on that one. 325 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry your 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus that 1 is 7. 3 times 3 is 9. You have 2 decimal places, so 1, 2 decimal places in the answer. So this multiplication comes to $9.75. You spent that much on the 3 items, this much on the 2 items. We add those together to get a total of 2.72. And remember, when you add decimals, you line up the decimals and add. So line up those decimals, 75. So we'll add 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. Carry that 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 9 is 12. And keep that decimal there. So you have $12 that you spent and 47 cents. You spent that on the items. That is the answer to this first question, first piece here, number 1, total amount of money spent on the purchases. So then the next thing we have to do is look at this, the amount of change back from the $20 bill. Well, you handed the person a 20 and you only had to pay $12.47. So it becomes a subtraction problem. So you take the $20 and subtract 12.47. That's all you needed to give the clerk was $12.47, but you gave her more than that, or him, whichever. Alright, so let's work out that problem. 20, and you line up the decimals. 12.47. Be careful. Add your decimal point and the zeros. So it's when you borrow, you don't get confused. So when you're borrowing, this 0 becomes a 10, and you're borrowing, I think of it as borrowing from the entire 200 over here, because you have a 0 and a 0 and then finally a digit. So we cross out the 200 and that becomes 199, because you took 1 away and added it here. A group of 10, really. Group of 10. So 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. So your change is $7.53. And that would be the ultimate answer for the problem.